Hello everyone, my name is John. Thanks for joining me today on StubbleMeetsSteel. Pretty excited to do this head-to-head shave. So ever since I had done the unboxing or introduction to these beautiful Lambda razors, boy, I have been enjoying the shave of them first off, but I've been racking my brain trying to figure out what I should compare it to. Should I compare it to the Aries? This is the Athena model, or should I compare it to something different, or should I just do a solo comparison of it? You know, I've been battling back and forth, and I literally had everything laid out just a minute ago, and then I changed my mind last second to the Yates Titanium Merica. And the reason why I changed it, I was going to do the Alpha Evo Outlaw. And, you know, I sat there and I was thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it. And to me, the price point was too drastically different. So I changed it out. I felt that one of the appeals of this beautiful Lambda Athena razor is that it comes with this fantastic bronze alloy finish, which is a, you know, unique finish that you don't really see. I've never seen on any other razor. You know, there might be some others out there, but I thought the finish on this was unique, as well as the design. So when I was contemplating back and forth what other razor to compare it to, it just kind of dawned on me that maybe the Yates Merica in the titanium would be similar. It's a rare, fancy metal that, you know, is a little more sought after. It's got kind of a cool feature of the magnet in the bottom. It's got the scallop top piece. It's got the, you know, American flag engraved on the top. It made a titanium, lightweight. So, you know, I just felt like this was a good comparison. I hope everybody else agrees. Blade gap wise, they're quite similar also. They're both considered neutral blade exposure, which is very important. And then the blade gap, I remember it, but this one is 0.43 millimeter on the Lambda Athena, and on the Yates Merica, I did the conversion and it's 0.53 millimeter of gap, and this is also neutral exposure. So I felt like in that regard, they were very, very close. Blade gap wise, they have similar, both advertised as neutral exposure. So basically the difference is you know, 0.10 of a millimeter in gap difference. And then obviously the head angle. I would say that there's a little bit more clamping on the Lambda Athena, but they both clamp similarly. So, you know, I thought that that was pretty comparable. And I just felt that these are both kind of unique razors, especially the Yates and the titanium. So to me, this sounded like a fun comparison. I hope everybody agrees. So let's get into it without going too much overboard. I did the intro on the Lambda razors, and boy, they come in these beautiful, fantastic, it's a one piece of mahogany that's CNC machined. I did another video that I'll link if you want to see a little more information on that. You know, the Yates in comparison, they don't offer it in this this tin anymore. There's a piece of foam that I took out that goes over the top here. And, you know, a little more simplistic. So, you know, it depends on what you're looking for. I know a lot of gents really love these fancy cases, whether it's for buying a high-end gun or a knife or something like that. Some people are really swayed by these, you know, presentation style cases. And, you know, I have to admit, like I mentioned in that video, I mean, this is absolutely beautiful. You know, the case itself is a work of art. It's got these rare earth magnets in there so that it kind of has this fancy clasp enclosure. I mean, just beautiful work of art. So if that's something that interests you, you know, then I would give the win would definitely have to go to the Lambda in that particular regard. Price-wise, these are pretty comparable. This is about $190 plus tax and shipping. And the Athena, if I did my conversion right from euros, is about $225 plus tax and shipping. These are CNC made in Greece, and these are CNC made here in the United States. So a couple differences between the two of them, but I both, you know, enjoyed both razors quite thoroughly. And for the blade today, these Bic Astors came in this box of the Lambdas, and I had these on standby. I had been wanting to try them. So I've been using them this week, and I find them very, very impressive. It's kind of a new blade that I've been really enjoying. To me, it feels similar to like a Gillette 7 o'clock green package or something like that. Nice middle road blade, similar to maybe a Gillette Nasset or something along those lines. Not crazy sharp, but not dull either, just that kind of sweet spot somewhere in between. For my brush today, I've got a Razor Rock Beehive brush. I'm getting it wet here. For the soap today, I've got McDuff's Autumn Cabin. The weather kind of dropped here about 20 degrees. It was pretty cold here today, so I was wearing jacket and pants again today, so I felt like a little more of a winter type smell. Load from the puck here. We've got a nice face lather going. So I was cracking up. My daughter went to state competitions for gymnastics. She's 10 and she did awesome. She got first place in 3 of her 4 events. And so she did really well, you know, super proud of her. She's very well motivated, self-motivated, I meant. And so she wanted these little miniature troll dolls. My wife was going to buy them off of Amazon for her, and they were like $1 a troll. I'm like, whoa, 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 pump the brakes. I was like, those are going to be like 10 cents a piece on AliExpress. She's like, what's this AliExpress, my 10-year-old? And so I show her, and you should have seen, I blew her mind, all the things that she was looking at. So before I knew it, she rickrolled me, and I had like $50 worth of stuff I was ordering for her. These trolls, some outfits she wanted, and some other stuff. I was dying laughing. And then, like, you know, I tried to explain to her, like, look, bro, this is coming from, you know, from China. It's going to take a while. And, you know, and sure enough, like, it was the quickest order I've ever got, one of the things on there, and I just died laughing because she was checking the mail like 2 days later. I'm like, dude, it's not going to be here for like another 2 weeks, I promise. And then sure enough, it came super quick, and then the rest of it came today is why I brought it up. So she was super pumped on that. So that was my Fun Friday story. Was the kid discovered AliExpress, and that was it. She was off and running. She was like a razor junkie waiting for the next tuck of blades. She couldn't get enough of that website. I created a monster. TGIF, everybody. I'm sure everybody's excited for the weekend. I know I sure am. We're gonna take the kids camping down by a local river that's nearby, but I checked and the campsites are already sold out for this week as well as next week. So the weather wasn't the greatest, so it kind of worked out to be a blessing. We'll have to find something else fun to do with the kids. Yeah, I've been going back and forth all week as to what I thought would be a good videos to make with these beautiful Lambda razors. And so far, this is the best I could come up with. If people really want to see the Alpha Evo Outlaw 2023, that was the other razor I was planning on comparing it to. I can still do that. Another gentleman said he really liked that idea. And I literally had that razor loaded up, and then last second, I just kind of changed my mind because the Alpha is about $140, and it's a beautiful razor as well, don't get me wrong. I just felt like if I was looking for a $200 plus razor with specialty coatings or finishes and different cool features, I think that I would be more apt to kind of stay within a $25 to $50 price spread versus, you know, something that's quite a bit cheaper price point, you know, almost $80, $90 difference. Kind of puts it into a different caliber, or at least I thought. Hope everybody agrees with my thoughts here, just thinking out loud, so to speak. I got a huge brush load on here. I just got busy talking, wasn't paying attention how long I was loading the brush. This is a softer soap. All right, we got cushion for days. All right, let's start off with the Lambda Athena. This is my width to grain on my neck. Those Bic Aster razors are made in Greece. I thought that was a cool pairing since these Lambda razors are also made in Greece. Wow, that felt very smooth. Nice blade pairing, very slick soap, lots of cushion. One thing that I did notice, especially with certain soaps, is the Athena can be slightly tricky to rinse out. As I kind of mentioned in my introduction video, if you look, there is no leather channels at all on the bottom of this. And the information in the manual that came with it, they said that they basically did that so that way the lather is not running down all over the handle as you're shaving, getting all over you. And that it definitely does achieve. I find that with thicker soaps, it can not necessarily clog up, but it definitely requires more frequent rinsing than some other razors that I've used. The Athena feels exceptional today, extremely smooth. I have used the Bic chrome ones in the orange packaging, and those are a little bit more inconsistent. I have had some good shaves with them, but I've had quite a few shaves that were not so great. I'd say they were about 50-50 for me, so I was quite surprised that I like these Bic Asters even more, because they're considered a cheaper offering blade from them. Blades feel very nice in this as well. This is the first time that I've used them in this razor, the Yates. One thing I'll note right off the bat is that the angle is much different between the two, shaving angle. The Yates has a very, very steep angle, handle almost parallel to the face, ride the safety bar, so to speak. Weight-wise, the razors are quite a bit different. The weight on the Athena is 118 grams versus the Yates, being made of titanium, is only, what did I write down here? 52 grams, so big difference in weight between the two. So that was also kind of what I was curious about with the gap being somewhat similar. Does the lighter weight hurt the Yates, even though it has a little more gap? Does that kind of even it out? Handle grip wise, pretty comparable. I would say maybe a little bit of an edge to the, there's basically lines that run along the handle of the Merica. The big knob on the bottom of the Athena definitely is nice to kind of rest on your pinky. But grip wise overall, I'd say a little more traction on the Yates. But the grip and the finish on this is very nice. I like how it's almost got this diamond grip inlay here on certain parts of the handle that make it really, really nice to hold on to as well. This McDuff's has awesome cushion to it, awesome slickness to it. This particular smells great too. If you're not familiar with it, it's like a walking through the forest in autumn time, the way that the leaves smell, and then it almost has like a hint of like burning leaves or light campfire type smell to it. They advertise it as a toasted maple. I kind of do get that, but to me it smells more like burning leaves or something like that. Fantastic smell. All right, plenty slick. I purposely did the Yates on this particular side to see how it felt right there on that particular pass. It was very smooth right there, right here on my neck on that against the grain downward pass. Be a little irritating with some razors. I find with the Athena, I just need to go a little bit careful there. On this side of my face, for whatever reason, I find it easier to go down against the grain right there. For me, in my personal opinion, right there on that pass, oddly as it is, the Yates is smoother, in my opinion, just on that part of my neck where it gets a little rough right there. Even though there's less blade gap between the two, the Athena has less blade gap. I'd say it has a little bit more blade feel to me, even though they're both advertised as neutral gap. On that pass against the grain on my neck would be my sensitive pass. I would say that there was more blade feel on the Athena versus the Yates. Not much, but a little bit. So if you have that really sensitive pass against the grain, you might enjoy the shave of the Yates a tiny bit better. If you have a sensitive neckline right there anyways. Both of these razors are performing excellent in this soap. Very, very slick stuff. Bronze alloy finish on this is very beautiful when you're shaving with it. It's pretty to look at. The bronze alloy is traditionally used for marine applications, but it's supposed to be very corrosive resistant. I find when rinsing, if you kind of ride more of the bottom cap when you're rinsing, as far as trying to get the water in the top of the top cap, if you try to get the water closer down here, it seems to get in those little grooves much easier and rinse it out much quicker. Find that sweet spot, so to speak. If handle length is important to you, I meant to mention earlier that the Yates is quite a bit shorter. The Yates overall is 3.5 inches long, whereas the Athena is 4 inches. So it depends on what style handle you like. I do really like these 3.5 inch handles, or overall 3.5 inch, I should say. I find that they're that great length for easy maneuverability, but I do enjoy the extra length sometimes when you're doing certain strokes like this on your neck. I find that that extra handle to hold on to sometimes can be nice as well. So they both have their trade-offs as far as lengthwise goes. They don't offer any other options. Handle-wise, basically, it is what it is. You can't get any other styles or anything from them. Feeling pretty even. I was talking to a buddy about something, I think it was on Chris on CDB's channel. You know, he made a valid point that when you're doing shave offs, you know, you tend to compensate during the shave and not realizing it, get extra strokes in and stuff like that. So you might even the shave out by technique, not realizing it. So he's rather true. You know, it's really hard to tell. It's not like you're doing one long smooth stroke on each side. So, you know, with doing blade buffing short strokes like I tend to do, you know, it's very hard to tell if you gave a few more strokes to one side versus the other side, or how truly even everything really was. So he brings up valid points there. I'm trying my best to do apples to apples on each side of the face. But it's very hard to calculate how many of those little mini short strokes you're truly really doing. Oh, wrong side. Very smooth right there. Let's finish it up. Something kind of interesting I just noticed right there. Initially, the Yates felt a little smoother on the against the grain pass on the mustache, but with this Athena, you do have a lot more angle to play with. And if you ride the top cap more, it definitely smooths things out quite a bit. So you do have a lot more angle to play with on this versus the Yates. It's not super locked in, but it's pretty much either on or off. There's not much angle to play with. Whereas the Athena, you definitely can play with the angle quite a bit more while still getting a cutting angle or cutting edge hitting. The rinsing of the Athena is very cool though. I'll show you what I mean in a sec. So as I mentioned in the introduction to the Lambda razors, hold on one second. Since there's no lather channels there, when you rinse it, it's almost like an aqueduct and it basically shoots out those side gaps there. So when you rinse it, water pours out both sides. I'll try to capture it on video if I can and show it. It's a pretty cool feature of that razor in my opinion. And you know, this McDuff soap is real thick. Both razors not struggled. 1 minute. Let's see. Extremely similar overall. A tiny bit that I missed here, and again, that could just be technique versus any fault of the razor by any means. And what I was saying with the being able to play with the angle more on the Athena, there is a little bit more blade feel between the two. If I had to, you know, say, I would say there is a tiny bit more blade feel on the Athena versus with the Yates. But you can ride the top cap more and kind of smooth things out to make it very, very close and comparable blade feel wise. I would still say there's a scotch more blade feel. So if you have a super sensitive neckline like I do right here on the against the grain, I am very careful with the Athena. It's not that it's irritated me, but it just has a little bit of where it starts to kind of want to grab on those hairs just right there on that particular pass, just on this side of my face for whatever reason. This side I can get away with a little bit more, even though the hair grows the same direction. But you know, I bring these points up so you know you can kind of compare things. If you're looking for a little bit less blade feel, a little bit more forgiving, I would say that the Yates might have an edge there. If you don't like the shorter handle and you want a little bit longer handle, the 4-inch handle on this, you know, is definitely nice. Weight-wise, there's a huge weight difference. You know, they're almost literally, it is more than, you know, basically double the weight. But yet, you know, this is that sweet middle spot. You know, this is definitely a heavy hitter, heavy feeling razor in the hand. So, you know, it really depends on what you're looking for weight-wise. I enjoy both light and heavy razors. They both shave great. With this, you know, you don't need to use any weight at all, but you know, with the titanium, I find that it doesn't want pressure either. You don't really need to bear down at all with it. You can, as they say, let the razor do the work. You know, they're both beautiful razors. This has kind of a dull satin finish on it. Since it's titanium, very, very easy to rinse and wash off. This bronze finish also rinses off extremely well. You know, hopefully it is as robust as they say, being a marine grade finish. You know, it's definitely beautiful to look at. It's like, it's not quite gold, but it's not quite copper. It's like somewhere in between because it's got the tin mixed in there to make the bronze alloy. And yeah, it's definitely got a cool, you know, not yellow, but like a, just a really pretty unique color, simply put. You know, what's more important to you? Do you want the beautiful presentation style box that you can have on your, you know, sitting out on the counter or, you know, in a display case? You know, is that sort of stuff important to you when you're looking to purchase a high-end razor like this? Lots of things to consider in those particular regards. But, you know, shave-wise, they both shave very, very nicely and both very, very similar. I would say they're both kind of in that sweet spot of what I would consider a Rockwell plate 3 or 4, somewhere in there, but both have higher end efficiency. I would say both are, you know, 4-plate Rockwell efficiency, maybe even higher. You know, they're both that sweet spot. I would say this is a little bit more forgiving and a little bit easier for me to use than this. Just right here on my Adam's apple and certain areas on my jawline and stuff like that. But overall, both very, very nice razors. I, you know, both enjoy, you know, both of them. You really can't go wrong with either one. It just depends, again, are you looking for something a little bit more unique, different shaped handle? It's got the cool aqueduct style head, you know, unique features, laser engraving there. You know, you have the engraving on the head here. It's got these scallop pieces on the top cap so you can grab the blade and the top cap at the same time. The blade tabs are covered on this, so a little bit different nuances between both. you know, I've really been enjoying these Lambda razors. They're definitely high-end heirloom quality razors that, you know, if you take care of, probably last you know, a lifetime, and they are something different. On one hand, with the handle on this, I do like that you can set it on that big base, but I also find the base I don't want to say gets in the way, but if it was just a little bit smaller in diameter, I think maybe I would like a little bit better. Ergonomics wise, you know, they both have their strong points. I like how Lambda put these diamond inlays here for grip, as well as the siping or the lines and stuff on there. I never feel like this wanted to slip out of my hands at all. The Yates is also very easy to hold on to with those lines running all the way up and down the handle. So both beautiful razors. I really enjoy both of them, to be quite honest with you. This one is just a little bit easier for me, again, with daily shaves. Here on my neck a little bit, just on that against the grain pass. You know, if you like a little bit more blade feel, I think you'll enjoy this a lot more. I have a couple of buddies that do like a little more blade feel. I think that they would like this more than this. So it's personal preferences, different skin types, different hair types. What works good for me might not work good for you, and vice versa. I know some gentlemen, you know, really like a little more blade feel. And again, it's not a huge amount more blade feel. It's just personal preferences. I find that this has just a touch more blade feel than this. So I hope you enjoyed today's review, and if you want, let me know in the comments if you'd like to also see the Alpha Evo Outlaw. That was about the only other razor that I felt was remotely close to on par with you know, an heirloom, a low production number razor like the Lambda, and you know, just something kind of unique and different. So let me know what you think of that. I hope you enjoyed today's shave. Thanks for staying tuned. Take care.